The Sedona Method, letting go to find freedom. There is a quiet tension that lives inside all of us. It shows up as stress, as anxiety, as frustration, as the constant feeling that something isn't quite right. We try to fix it. We distract ourselves. We chase success. We seek approval. We look for answers outside of ourselves. But what if the problem was never out there to begin with? What if the weight we carry is not caused by life itself, but by how tightly we hold onto our reactions to it? This is the central idea behind the Sedona Method by Hale Dwoskin. A method not of gaining more, but of letting go. The illusion of control. From a young age, we are taught that control is the key to happiness. Control your environment. Control your outcomes. Control your emotions. But life does not obey control. People change. Circumstances shift. Unexpected events arise. And when reality does not match our expectations, something happens within us. We resist. We push against what is. We hold on to how things should be. And in doing so, we create suffering. The Sedona Method begins with a radical shift. You do not need to control life to feel free. You only need to release your resistance to it. Emotions are meant to be felt, not stored. Most of us were never taught how to deal with emotions. So we develop habits. We suppress them. We express them outwardly. Or we try to escape them. But none of these approaches truly resolve anything. Suppression buries emotions, but they remain within us. Expression may release some energy, but often reinforces the feeling. Escape only delays the experience. The Sedona Method offers a different path. Feel the emotion, and let it go. Not by force, not by analysis, but by simple awareness and willingness. Because emotions, at their core, are not permanent. They are temporary waves, unless we hold on to them. The three fundamental questions. At the heart of the Sedona Method are three simple yet powerful questions. Could I let this go? Would I let this go? When? These questions are not meant to pressure you. They are invitations. They gently guide your awareness toward the possibility of release. Because often, the reason we hold on to emotions is not that we must, but that we believe we must. And when you see that letting go is an option, something shifts. The nature of letting go. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you become passive or indifferent. It means you stop clinging. You stop resisting. You stop holding on to emotional patterns that no longer serve you. Imagine holding a heavy object for hours. At some point, your hand begins to ache. But the relief does not come from analyzing the object. It comes from opening your hand. Letting go is just that. Opening your emotional grip. The core wants that drive us. According to the Sedona Method, much of our emotional experience is driven by three core desires. The desire for security. The desire for approval. The desire for control. These wants shape our reactions. We feel anxious when security is threatened. We feel hurt when approval is withheld. We feel frustrated when control is lost. But here's the insight. These desires are not wrong. But when we cling to them, they create suffering. Freedom comes not from eliminating these desires, but from loosening our attachment to them, releasing in real time. One of the most powerful aspects of the Sedona Method is that it can be applied instantly. In the middle of stress, in the middle of conflict, in the middle of fear, you pause, you bring awareness to the feeling, and you ask, could I let this go? Even if the answer is no, the question itself begins to soften the grip, because it introduces space, and in that space, there is freedom, letting go of the past. Many of the emotions we carry are not from the present moment. They are echoes of the past. Old memories, old wounds, old patterns. And yet, we relive them as if they are happening now. The Sedona Method teaches that the past does not have power over you, unless you hold on to it. By allowing yourself to feel and release these stored emotions, you begin to free yourself from their influence. Not by changing the past, but by changing your relationship to it. Letting go of future anxiety. Just as we hold on to the past, we also project into the future. We worry about what might happen. We imagine worst-case scenarios. We try to prepare for every possibility. But in doing so, we create anxiety. Because the future is uncertain, and the mind seeks certainty. The Sedona Method invites you to release not the future, but your need to control it. And in that release, you find peace in the present moment. The illusion of identity. We often define ourselves by our emotions. I am anxious. I am angry. I am stressed. But these statements create a subtle trap. They turn temporary experiences into fixed identities. The Sedona Method gently reminds us. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness behind them. And when you see this clearly, something powerful happens. You no longer feel controlled by what you feel. Effortless freedom. Perhaps the most surprising aspect of the Sedona Method is its simplicity. There are no complex techniques. No long processes. No need for years of study. Just awareness. And willingness. Because freedom is not something you achieve. It is something you uncover. It is already there. Beneath the layers of resistance. Letting go and success. You might wonder. If I let go of my desires, won't I lose motivation? But the Sedona Method suggests the opposite. When you are not driven by fear, stress, or attachment, you act more clearly, more effectively, more creatively. You still pursue goals, but you are no longer controlled by them. And this creates a different kind of success. One that is not just external, but internal. Relationships and letting go. Many of our strongest emotions arise in relationships. Conflict, hurt, expectations. We want others to behave a certain way, to meet our needs, to fulfill our expectations. And when they don't, we suffer. The Sedona Method teaches that while you cannot control others, you can release your emotional reactions. And in doing so, you create space for understanding, for compassion, for connection without attachment. The freedom of allowing. At its core, the Sedona Method is about allowing. Allowing emotions to arise. Allowing experiences to unfold. Allowing life to be as it is. Not with resignation, but with openness. Because resistance creates tension, and allowing creates peace. A new way of living. When you begin to practice letting go, something shifts. You become less reactive, less burdened by past and future, more present. Challenges still arise, but they no longer define you. Emotions still appear, but they no longer control you. And slowly, a new way of living emerges. One based not on struggle, but on ease. Closing reflection. Imagine living without the constant weight of emotional tension, without the need to control everything, without the fear of what might happen. Imagine being able to experience life fully, without being overwhelmed by it. This is the promise of the Sedona Method. Not perfection, not the absence of challenges, but freedom within them. Because in the end, the greatest power you have is not the ability to control life. It is the ability to let go. And in that letting go, you discover something that was always there. Peace.